No, he's a comedian and actor and director. Obviously, he's not going to act or direct for you tonight, but he'll be performing Saturday night in San Diego at the Old Globe Theater. Formerly the Old Globe. In medieval times, it was considered the Old Globe Theater. He's going to be there as part of the San Diego Comedy Festival. Why not? And he's directed a new movie that's just come out all around the country. Is that grammatically correct? That's just come out all around the country? Seems very wordy, doesn't it?
Just been released?
Just been released around the country. Shorter words would be nicer. If I just said it and brought him out, it would be helpful too. Would you welcome David Steinberg? Or you can be interviewed tonight from either direction.
Oh, this is great. Did you discuss your first sexual experience? Or did
I started to say, I started to tell her.
Tell me.
No, I'm not going to tell you. It was a disaster, like most of them are.
Oh, yeah, mine too.
Because I grew up in a very conservative, Midwestern background, and I was not as far advanced as the kids are nowadays.
You think they're better now?
Well, I think they certainly have sexual experiences earlier in life, apparently. I'm not sure that that's good either.
No.
How about you?
Same, conservative, you know.
Yeah.
All I remember was her saying, "You finished?" But,
What's that about that?
but I don't remember any more than that.
All right. What do you want to talk about first? You got a movie you want to talk?
Yes, Going Berserk.
Berserk.
John Candy is in it, and all the SCTV guys, Joe
Yeah.
Flaherty, Gene Levy. I think it's very funny, and it should be around the country.
Around the country.
Universal has released it in a sort of whispering campaign. You have to ask your neighbor, did you ever hear of Going Berserk? Is it out? Yes, it's been out for a few weeks.
So you're trying to get, as they say, the word of mouth.
Yeah, I think it's quite funny.
And you're directing this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good for you, all right. We talked about once about going back. You've been married about 10 years?
Actually, 11 years. It's good memory. And this is our anniversary this weekend.
You're kidding?
Yes.
What is the... People always applaud that.
Yeah, well...
People always applaud that. It's like when they used to go on quiz shows. I have 19 children. Hey! Big deal.
I think they just applauding...
What is the 11th?
Well, the 11th is about 3 or 4 more than you've had, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
This isn't your night.
No, it's really not.
No, I don't know what the 11th is. What is the 11th, Barbara? You know, is there
paper, glass,
tissue paper.
wood?
Tissue paper.
Tissue paper? Good. Be a nice gift.
It's paper, isn't it?
But in Hollywood, as you know, this is a tradition. 11 years is legendary in our business. We're very happy, Judy and I. And
yeah. You talked about the first time that you introduced her to your family once, which was not a joyous occasion, if I remember.
Well, only because she is Italian, and my family are Russian Orthodox, Jewish Canadians.
Sounds like a good match.
And as, I don't know if you remember, but I told you that Gentiles to my father were people, although intelligent, they sell their children for whiskey.
Yes.
So when you bring home an Italian girl to my family, I mean, it's uphill. I mean, you don't actually bring a Gentile home to my family. You bring a cute girl home first.
Just to soften them up.
Let them get ready for it. And see, my father embraced his prejudices. He was cute about his prejudices.
Really?
Yeah. Well, he would stand in the grocery store Christmas Day, and he'd wait for the first fleck of snow to wend its lazy way down to earth, and as it would touch ground, he'd go, "Ah! They got their snow again for Christmas."
They meaning?
The Gentile
Community, yeah.
Then on the other side of the family, we have the Italians, my in-laws, and the Italians, for a living, in my family, buy restaurants and set fire to them.
That's your father's perspective of that.
That's right. So you try and start a marriage and all of this, it ain't easy.
Yeah.
But this is easy for us. We've enjoyed ourselves. This is
And it simmered down, huh?
11 years. Yeah, oh, yeah. Within a year, my wife is a favorite in the family now.
Yeah.
How does he feel about that, your father, about that beautiful little baby girl out there that's hot?
Sasha. Sasha, she's the best, isn't she? She's so smart. I write her. She's 9 months old.
Yeah.
She's a beauty.
Show business to the hilt, all
Yes,
right.
oh, yes.
What do you want to talk about? What's going on politically? Got any comments on what's been happening? Some of the news is kind of stark, and it's not, you can't...
Well, some of it is interesting. I like Grenada is interesting to me. What's interesting is the labeling of it. The president got very nervous about calling this an invasion, and he wanted to call it a rescue mission. So they were going back and forth between Caspar Weinberg. Is it an invasion? Is it a rescue mission? Is it a breath mint? Is it a candy mint? You know, it drove me crazy. So I'd say, why don't you have it like 2 mints in one, make it a rescue invasion?
Rescue invasion.
Now, I happen to have been in Grenada.
Really?
I was in Grenada. Yeah, we talked about it. I didn't mention this place. Remember, I was on a yacht?
Yeah, in the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean.
Right.
And I was there, and when I was there, I remember this island. This island it was a sleepy island with a Holiday Inn. And to me, when I heard of this invasion in Grenada, it's not an invasion when the Marines land between the ice bucket at the Holiday Inn and the bongo bar at the Club Med. It's hard for me to get excited about this great victory,
right,
having been there. So the labels interest me. Now you've got William Clark replaces James Watt.
Right.
Now, we won't even talk about William Clark in the old days not knowing where Zimbabwe was. I don't either, but I'm not running for office. Now, what's interesting is, in the old days, when you would have an appointee from the president, they would say he's a graduate, let's say Eisenhower administration. They say he's a graduate of Amherst and the Kennedy administration, a graduate of Harvard. Reagan, when he announced Clark, he looked the media straight in the eye and said he's proud to say that William Clark is a third-generation rancher. And the media picked up on this as if it was a credit. So I'm thinking, what is a third-generation rancher? It's a guy who shovels manure. So, to me, in Washington, they're all third-generation ranchers.
To bring it right down to little analogies. Already? My, it is time for a commercial again, but we'll be back. All right, we're talking with David Steinberg, Barbara Walters,